Let's watch Raw. 25 seconds until this show goes live. I meant to come up a little bit earlier than this, but I'm just getting up here now. We're going to watch this show together. Talked about this last night since we had a big streaming day yesterday. Might as well come up and watch Raw together since it's the go home to Night of Champions, which as of right now is still scheduled for Saudi Arabia. So we are down to 3 seconds left before Raw starts, at least by my clock. I want to start out this stream by congratulating our boy Barry MK400, chiming in with $5, telling us he finally passed his driving test. He can drive on his own. Barry has ridden in a car with me before, so next time, Barry, you can drive. Congrats, my friend, on getting that done. So happy for you. I don't know what driving tests are like in Hawaii. It's got to be different because the roads there are different. Everything about driving there is different. So it's the whole experience is probably different. So congrats, Barry. So happy for you, dude. And now our boy's mobile. Look out for Barry. Stay on the sidewalk. Here comes Barry. All right, Raw is starting. Sorry I wasn't up here 5 minutes earlier like I wanted to be. It just took me a couple of minutes to get all situated here, but Raw is kicking off. Here we go. Big matches tonight. Cody and Jay, Roxanne and Jade. I've got Cody and Jade Cargill going over. I also have Bayley and Becky Lynch ending in a schmoz that will lead to a Lyra, Becky, Bayley triple threat at an upcoming show. Probably Evolution. Maybe Night of Champions. We don't know yet. Tito, have a seat. Do what you're going to do, buddy. If they are going to move my Night of Champions, I vote Allstate Arena in Chicago. Where are they? Oh, they're in Columbus again. They're in Columbus again? Huh. Last night, right? King of the Ring, 2002. We watched it. Columbus. Same fucking arena, right? That's ironic. Has that ever happened in a watch-along before? We show up on Raw the next night, it's in the same building? Woohoo. Here comes main event, beltless Jey Uso. Got to face his buddy Cody. I don't know if they're still going to have libations in the bus after this match or not. Look at Balor in his Jamiroquai hat or whatever that thing is. Roxanne. Jade Cargill just like towers over her. This is like a woman versus a child. Why is Jade Cargill talking to that doll? Does Jade Cargill have mental problems we didn't know about? There's Becky. God, she's so hot. I think Becky's my number one. Seth, I don't know how you did that, Colby. I don't know how you pulled that. And there's Bayley. She's loving that white since coming back. Even her phone is purple. Yeah, Michael, why not? Let's do a watch-along tonight. We did a big podcast yesterday, so I figured that there wouldn't be much to talk about if we reviewed the show other than the results. You know, the stream would be 30 minutes. So let's come up and just watch it together. Hang out. It's Monday night. I'm tired on Mondays. I get my blood sucked, so I didn't want to do anything too strenuous. So kicking back, watching, wrestling with you guys. I think that's the way to do it tonight. Welcome back, Spartan Sprinkles. Oh, nice. Been moving in with your girlfriend who lives across town. Nice. Hope that's all going well. I'm down to my last 3 months in this house. I'm sad. Gonna have to be leaving it soon. Well, we don't need all this space anymore, so we're downsizing. So in about mid-October, you're gonna have a different setup behind me here. All right, here comes the faction with no name. This is the faction equivalent of Ed Leslie. The faction with no name. Maybe they can name themselves the Zodiacs, the Booty Men. Perhaps the Disciples. Or the Barbers. Whatever floats their boat. Or the Butchers. Who's that behind Michael? That's not Chris Bay, is it? Oof. Yeah, no McAfee again. I'm not complaining. And in a couple of months, we're going to be gone. We're going to be done with him again because I assume he's going to go off to do football, right? Probably mid-August. Good to see Corey back. Kind of fell out of the good graces there for a bit. I'm glad that he found his way. Found his way back. Separated rib cartilage. Is that a thing? Rib cartilage? You got cartilage in there? We do? Maybe we do. Sometimes it gets separated, I guess. Nobody wants that. Good to see Mohammed, Crazy J, Ken Webb, Michael Kumo, The Juliet, Zach Palgett, Michael Kumo. Oh, I got you twice. Ajax, Intimidator, William, Spartan Sprinkles, Rodrigo, Ricky, Barry, Ben, Crazy J, Daniel Barry, Zane G, Nick Musser, Melissa. Good to see everybody who's saying hi right now. Thumbs up button smash would be appreciated if you don't mind. I'm happy to see I don't have Corey blocked. Or he hasn't blocked me. Corey likes me. He learned how to be a commentator by listening to our streams. He just listens to them every night and learns. I didn't even charge him. Yeah, you're a visionary. Thank you, Crazy J. You can separate your rib cartilage. That sucks. Sounds like it hurts. Probably sucks just as bad as a broken rib. I like keeping my cartilage unseparated. That's how I prefer mine. What do we want, y'all? What do we want from Seth? There's no little time codes on Netflix, so we just have to guess. But next time we watch a live pay-per-view on Peacock, like not a classic, but a live one, I'm going to make sure we have a little time code for you guys to follow. But Netflix doesn't give you one. I'm as live and as live as I can be. Seth is currently not speaking. He's walking around the ring. Now he just said exactly. That's where we are. So what you're saying, Seth, is that the fans are just being fans. You're chanting this guy 1 minute, this guy the next. They're just doing what fans do, bro. You wouldn't know that, Seth, because you're not a fan like us. You're just a lowly wrestler. Maybe one day you can graduate and become a fan. And see, we'll show you how it's done.
So it's painfully obvious to me that you have no damn idea what you want, and so I do not care what you want.
Okay, Seth doesn't care what we want. Okay. Feelings aren't hurt. I'm fine with that.
What's good for you? So you need people like me, visionaries like me, to tell you what is good for you. Let's try a little experiment here. Let's try an experiment. Let me see if you can wrap this.
Bronson with the Jordan 3s. Y'all can recognize those shoes, huh? I guess I recognize the Jordan. It's 2025. How are we only on Jordan 3s? We had 16 iPhones. You mean the Jordans that I grew up with as a kid, those were ones? We've only had 3? That can't be right.
Roman Reigns exists because of me.
Well, I remember the first time Nike Air was on the back of the sneakers. I wanted one that said Nike Air so bad. No, Mom, I have to have the ones that say Air. Otherwise, I'll get beat up.
WWE because this company wanted to cash in on how much I hate CM Punk. And that's the truth.
There's so many guys intertwined here, you know. Seth's talking about Punk, who's got a match with Cena.
There is no second coming of Cody Rhodes unless I am there to put him on the map.
It's kind of sad to see Cody and Seth never really broke up. They never had anything that separated them. Seth just turned heel, so now all of a sudden he doesn't like Cody.
Championship. I was the first. Those things exist as they are because I built them in my image. I am the creator. I am the prime mover. I am the past. I am the present. And this is the future of this company.
Okay. Anybody going to have the guts to interrupt this crew here?
And between me and my oracle here, we know a thing or two about revolutions, don't we, Paul?
Still wonder if we're going to see Roman at some point, you know?
Revolution,
Mike Witt, thanks for the $10.
opposition. And I will deal with that opposition diplomatically until that opposition pushes me and pushes me and pushes me and forces my hand. And that is exactly what happened to L.A. Knight.
Now, is Seth going to make the trip to Saudi Arabia just for the potential to cash in on Cody and Punk? Like, why would Seth's character even go over there unless he really wants to try to cash in?
Tsunami after tsunami after tsunami for his troubles. And in a few minutes' time, my dog, Braun Breaker, has an opportunity to do the same thing to another person who has been a thorn in our side. Penta.
Penta. He's just going through everybody. Mike, watching some old promos of Cody from his heel run in New Japan. I can't wait for heel Cody in WWE. Imagine Cody and Cena double turn at SummerSlam with Cody joining Rollins' team, Bullet Club 2025. I don't think anybody would have that on their bingo card. I'd be fine with it. It's not time for Cody quite yet, but we're getting there, man.
To exist
The fans aren't
at the top.
fully behind him anymore. You hear some mixes in the crowds now. I still think it's a little bit early, but I feel like in the next year, it's probably going to be about time.
Or their prospective challengers, CM Punk, Goldberg, or those people left in the King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, the Viper, Randy Orton. But what these men fail to understand, they are all running a race for second place. This is the finish line.
The Money in the Bank is the finish line? The title is the finish line.
Game. It has and always will be Seth freaking Rollins.
Somebody going to come out?
Well, Mr. Money in the Bank
Is that Penta?
believes he is the cause and effect of just about everything in WWE, and Corey has placed the target clearly on this man. I assure you, Rollins isn't going to take too kindly to being interrupted by Penta, but I don't think Penta cares very much about that. We are in for a banger, Cole.
Yeah, this is a con. Okay, I thought Penta was coming out to interrupt. This is a match. Is he fighting Braun Breaker or something? Yes, he is. Paul is the Barry. Paul is the finish line. Red Raven Rucker, good to see you. Doing well over here. T85, good to see you too. Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns, we might get that. I don't know how I don't know how Roman's gonna be worked into SummerSlam. I feel like he's got to be there. So it's just a matter of when do we see him. Probably not until after Night of Champions or after Saturday Night's main event. Put Kathy Kelly in Fortnite. I don't even play video games, but I think that's a funny sign. Super Show Mexico. I saw some discourse this weekend about Penta, like, oh, it's time to have a conversation about Penta, and he's not doing anything in WWE. I'm like, he's not. Like, I don't understand what you wanted him to do. What was he supposed to be doing that's more than what he's doing? Was he coming in to be champion? I never thought so. If you ask me, he's featured on TV most weeks. If he would have spent this exact same amount of time that he's been in WWE right now in AEW, he probably would have had 2 matches, if that, or none. You know, he's on TV every week. He's featured. He's mixing it up with top-tier talent. I mean, aside from winning world championships, what are people talking about when they're saying he's not doing anything? You know, like, what do they mean? Like, to me, he's kind of doing exactly what I kind of thought he would do. I was like, I think people think, some fans today, especially young ones, they think if you don't win the title in like the first 2 weeks in the company that you've been fumbled or something. Like, I don't get that mentality. All right, Penta and Breaker, first match of the night. What do we got for our advertisement? Slim Jim in the middle. It's rotated this time. It's not straight. Riyadh season, of course. Real American beer. Papa John's. Shitty pizza, shitty beer. I'm like, I'll take Snickers and a Slim Jim, but you can keep your Papa John's and your Real American beer. Team Rollins, Team Zayn at Survivor Series. They could be doing that, Zayn. I plan on going to Survivor Series. I have not checked on any ticket sales yet. But it would be foolish for me to not go. Oof. How is Breaker not moving out of the way? Oof. Braun Breaker. I hate that name so bad. Braun Breaker sounds so stupid. Even if I was 10 years old, I swear I would think that name is stupid. I'm like, that's fucking dumb. Braun Breaker with 2 Ks. So embarrassing. Oh. I mean, on SmackDown on Friday, who did he bark at? He's woo 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 woo. He just barked at somebody. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the just barking. I don't want to replace barking for speech, you know? Still to come, guys. Exclusive interview with Goldberg. Can't wait to hear what he has to sputter out. Let me guess. Gunther is next, right? Oh, and Gunther has a message for Goldberg. Good. Oof. How fast?
Seth Rollins has instilled even more. Paul Heyman has instilled even deeper confidence in this, for all intents and purposes, rookie in Braun Breaker. Indeed.
Braun Steiner would work. I'd prefer Rex Steiner, but Braun Steiner's fine. It's not the Braun that I hate. It's the Breaker. The Breaker. Slightly more stupid than Dolph Ziggler. Like, what is with these names? I don't think we've gotten a commercial break yet in this match. Feels like one might be coming.
Case in point, Penta is used to having a distinct speed advantage over most of his opponents. Oh, probably not the case when it comes to Breaker tonight. And a right hand drops Penta to the apron. Referee Eddie Orengo working this matchup.
Oh, shit. I forgot. 1 second.
Stellar night on Monday Night Raw. King and Queen of the Ring semi-final matchup to see who goes to Night of Champions Saturday. Of course, Becky and Bayley meet the Intercontinental Brother. Wow! That Rollins sends Breaker across the ring. And our Penta's got Braun Breaker really. Braun Breaker is trying to avoid allowing Penta to build up momentum, pick up speed. Series of kicks takes down Braun.
Well, that's a good kick. Connected. He didn't phase him. Commercial coming up on this plancha. Maybe. Nope. If Penta does a dive and lands on Breaker, that's going to be your commercial. Watch. Like if he does a big dive here. That's got to be commercial now. Got to be commercial. No? Okay. Yeah, there we go. You can tell when the commercial breaks are coming. You can tell by watching the action in the ring. Crazy. And there's our commercial. Back in 3 minutes. Brian Spencer, as of now, show is still going on. WWE, plain and simple, no matter how many ways you want to word it, and I've talked a little bit about it on social media today, they will not move the show unless the government tells them to. That's going to be the only... They're not going to do it just to be safe. They're not going to do it to better safe than sorry. They're going to be safe over there. They're fine. The geopolitics over there are going to keep them safe in Saudi Arabia. Iran's not going to be bombing the arena or anything like that. But still, it's like... Even with all of that, you got to think about your wrestlers too. A lot of them are young and a lot of them are stupid, you know? Like some of them don't know anything about what's going on and some of them might be genuinely concerned. You might have some wrestlers that are over concerned and then some that are under concerned. You know, think of the young ones there. Think about the wrestlers that might be going over there that might be 23 years old. Do you think they know what the fuck is going on? You know, with all the focus on like mental health and stress and, you know, and that type of thing, you don't think some of the talent right now might be a little bit gritting their teeth a little bit, even if it's unnecessary, that, you know, you got to just think about all that stuff. But WWE will not do anything to jeopardize a single solitary fucking penny that they make unless the government says don't go there. They're not going to make that decision on their own. TKO is not going to make that decision on their own. They're going to have to be told. So it's looking like that show's going to happen. Some WWE crew's already over there. But I feel like unless anything intensifies in the next, 24 to 48 hours, that they're going. And they're probably going to be fine, but probably isn't good enough for me. If I'm a wrestler and I'm booked for that show, I'm going, but I'm uneasy as fuck about it. A lot of people want to educate a lot of fans, on social media today. If you're watching a commercial, you just missed a pretty sick bump there in the commercial break, But it's like it's not even with some fans. It's not even that. Yes, some fans clearly don't know shit, especially wrestling fans, about anything that's going on anywhere. I was like, but even if you do, it's like it's not good enough. I'd rather just not do the whole show, move it over here to the States. Ironically, if they were to move the show, that means I'm going to miss it because I didn't bother taking the night off because it's in the morning. The show's in the morning. So I got to work Saturday night. So if they move it, I'm working. Oof. Oh, wow, look at that bump. None of that was on the main show. There's still 6 seconds left in the commercial break. So that's two big bumps there that Penta took during the commercial break that maybe they'll show replays of now, now that we're back. For all of you watching on Netflix, did you guys see commercials or did you see what happened? I'm still curious how all this works. 1 week I was getting commercials, and then 1 week I wasn't. I don't know, so I don't know if it even has anything to do with what tier you're on, Like 3 weeks ago, I got commercials, and I have no idea why. But tonight, no commercials.
Look at Breaker now stomping a hole in a solar plexus of Penta. I'm surprised Penta's even able to make it to a vertical base at this juncture. Oh, and he's still going to fight. Right to the base of Penta fighting back. That's the thing about Penta. Never say die attitude. Looked like he might have been going for the Mexican destroyer there, Corey. And Breaker intercepted it.
Oof.
Knees into the already injured ribs. Cover on Penta. Kick out at 2.
Thanks for the 5, Mike Witt. Penta's fine where he is on the card. Currently, I feel the exact same way. I'm a little worried about his brother on the other hand. I think Phoenix will be fine too, but I've thought all along that Penta is the more marketable. So I think WWE's hope is that Penta would develop a fan following like Rey Mysterio or something like that, and he might still, because he is over. Fans do like him. Catchphrase, the whole deal. Selling masks, He'll find singles championship gold. He'll be IC or US champ, 100%. But there's really no rush on that. How long has he been there? 3 months? That's weird, Barry. So you got ads. Yeah, I've only gotten commercials like 1 week. Like 1 week, I randomly was seeing commercials. And I'm like, why the fuck am I seeing commercials? But every other week, I see the whole thing, and then they let you know when there's a commercial break with a 3-minute or 4-minute countdown clock in the corner. I didn't dig too deep into the WWE staff stuck in Qatar because I saw 2. I saw that they were stuck there, but I also saw that they've been in Saudi Arabia, everybody's fine. So I actually don't know which one it is. But in terms of the talent and staff and stuff, that's going to be a chartered flight. So all the civilian air traffic that's been suspended over there is not going to apply to them.
Backstabber moments ago, and Breaker was able to put the brakes on him, and that could be a result of the damage and the attacks to the core of Penta. Doesn't have as much strength as usual. And Penta says he's ready to go. Could be ready to put Braun Breaker away. Penta called
Mexican Destroy. That was stupid. He yelled out the name of the movie he was going to do. And then Breaker defended it.
face by Penta. Breaker
What was he trying to do there?
rolled through into a high knee.
Oh, that was a knee? I thought he was trying to hit him with a code breaker. The Breakensteiner. You could have just called it the Frankensteiner, not the Breakensteiner.
David thought that was it. Penta able to stay in it. Take another look at the superhuman athletic ability of Braun Breaker, the Frankensteiner, taking Penta halfway across the squared circle, but Penta somehow able to summon the will to kick out.
I'll get a Band-Aid. I'll be right back. I'm bleeding.
33 in attendance tonight at the Nationwide Arena, Columbus, Ohio. Breaker, Penta, first matchup of the night. It's been a great one. And now Braun Breaker looked like he was set up with a spear, intercepted by Penta.
I feel like Breaker's going to spear him here. Nope. Press slam.
Military press, counter by Penta, into the deep.
This is a competitive match, man.
This time be the charm. Mexican
Wow, Mexican Destroyer.
for the win. Massive win.
Oh, this is a near fall. Jesus. You know, I get my blood done every Monday, and I'm just bleeding a lot today. Normally, I don't bleed at all.
And it was heavy.
That was a really good looking one too.
Right on the crown of Breaker's skull, and Braun kicks out. It was the third time Penta attempted to go for the Mexican Destroyer in the matchup. Was able to hit Breaker in the
Well, next time, Penta, don't call out the move you're gonna do. Mexican Destroyer, and then he goes for it and it gets blocked. I'm like, well,
thinking about the Penta driver. Breaker
oh, is Penta all right? Ugh. Did you see the way he landed on that rope like that? Oh my God! Oh my God! I mean, it's up there with the Shawn Michaels super kick to Shelton Benjamin. It's not as good, but that might be close. Holy crap. Show me a replay of that, please. Oh, Penta's dead. Any of y'all going to Penta's funeral? I'll send flowers.
Great performance by Penta, but in the end, Braun Breaker
Jesus Christ.
lives up to his
So it was basically a springboard off the second rope, and Breaker caught him with a spear. Look at this.
will to take it to the skies, and Braun Breaker nearly
Okay.
Penta clean in half.
It looked crazier from that first. It's still awesome looking. But Penta's alive. He probably wasn't killed from that, but that one angle, though, looked ridiculous. Kind of felt a little bit like, you know, the Logan Paul and Ricochet thing they did in the Rumble that time.
Celebrate with one. Braun Breaker. This is your one warning.
It's your one warning.
Stay out of my way. We heard what Seth Rollins had to say. He kicked off the night tonight saying, I'll try to deal with things diplomatically if you cross me. However, if you force my hand, you're going to pay. And Penta pays the hands of Breaker tonight. Rollins reminding Penta, you've just been issued your one warning. Stay out of the visionary's way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, switching gears now on Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan suffered a serious injury last week on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, poor Liv.
herself upon impact. Unfortunately, watch Liv's elbow. It would jam her right shoulder.
Oh.
I understand that Liv Morgan is going to miss several months of action.
Poor Liv.
Exactly. But let's talk about the tag titles if you don't mind.
Yeah, what's going on with the tag titles? I feel like they're just going to plug Roxanne in here.
Yeah, man. I am, unfortunately, heard about Liv Morgan. She's not the only member of Judgment Day to get hit by an injury.
How are me and AJ the same age, but he has all that hair and I have this?
What do you do, straighten his mustache? Look, I've seen the paperwork. It's legitimate. Unfortunately, the match made of champions, it's all fight.
What?
Dude, he's ducking me. You know what? I'm going to go make sure he's ducking.
Are they calling off? Is that legit? Are they calling off AJ and Dom?
The match is yours. I'll be waiting. Thank you.
Is this like a cover story for Dom maybe speaking up and saying, I'm not going over there? I have no idea. Just a guess.
We actually wanted to come and talk to you about this new idea for a photo shoot that we got. Cause you photo shoot? Yeah.
I want to talk to you about a match.
A match!
Next week. No. For those tag team titles.
Against Finn Balor.
What am I missing? Why is Raw at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific next week? What's going on? What did I miss? Why is that happening?
Thanks for dropping by.
You're so bald.
Yes, I am.
You're so bald, he said. You're so bald.
Treat my mates.
The New Day.
That's all Waller said was don't treat my mates the New Day like that?
Next week against
Okay.
Judgment Day. Meanwhile, earlier today, I had the opportunity to sit down with Goldberg to talk to him about his match with Gunther 2 weeks from Saturday and Saturday night's main event. That exclusive interview is live next on Netflix.
Oh, good. So Cole got to sit down with Goldberg. I didn't think they were in Raw. Or in Saudi for Raw. I thought it was just SmackDown and the pay-per-view. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, yeah. Next Monday. Special start time. But why?
Defense against longtime friends and rivals, Seth. And who's going to face Asuka Saturday in the Queen of the Ring finals? Will it be Jade Cargill or Roxanne Perez?
So what is next? What's the date next week? The 30th?
These two are going to have to do their best to put friendship
Raw, June 30th.
opportunity to battle Randy Orton to become King of the Ring is at stake. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, one-on-one with Jey Uso.
Pittsburgh.
Let's show you what's going to happen in 2 weeks.
Pittsburgh next week. So I don't know why the event starts at 5:30 p.m. Yeah, I don't know why there's a special start time. Is there some... It's not some sports on? NHL and NBA's done? Why would it be a different time next week? Does AI know? Anyway, do any of you in the chat know why that's happening? Oh, it's a double taping. Okay, it's a double taping so they get the 4th off. Thank you for that, Ryan. Okay. So a double Raw taping or a Raw and SmackDown taping? Must be a Raw SmackDown taping. Because the 4th would then be what, that Friday? No, it would be the... Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, the 4th would be that Friday. Okay. So they must be taping Raw and SmackDown. Okay. I'm surprised they give a shit about the talent having the 4th off, you know? Like, that's probably one. Like, I want them to have the holidays, Christmas, you know, Thanksgiving even with their families and stuff. Who gives a fuck about the 4th? I mean, I'd want it off because I love going to the beach and doing barbecue stuff and hanging out with my friends and whatnot, but... I've had some fun on 4th of July, man. I've had a lot of 12-hour beach days on 4th of July. Now, I'm wondering if Goldberg's little dumb kid is going to get involved, the way he did with Lashley and whatnot. Goldberg wrestled at SummerSlam 2021, right? Wasn't that was Bobby Lashley? So I think I've seen just one Goldberg match in my life. I think I saw him wrestle in 03 when he was there in 03. I think I saw him wrestle a couple times when I went to shows 22 years ago. But his latest run, I think I saw him work at SummerSlam 2021. I don't think he worked any Manias I went to. That fucking Saturday Night's Main Event theme song slaps. It is so good. It's up there to me with the NBA on NBC, with the John Tesh song. It's so good. I'm glad they resurrected it. Yeah, I've seen all that. I saw the ceasefire and the denial of the ceasefire, so we'll just wait. We're just fucking people here trying to not die. My biggest fear, you know, is when something serious goes down, we're going to have this fucking moron at the helm. You even got fucking 3 toes. Marjorie Taylor Greene is fucking growing a 4th toe. She's so mad about the whole thing. I'm like, man, when you lose her, maybe your administration is failing. She had her head so far up his ass, you know, like. Goldberg, you look like a grandpa.
First and foremost, did you expect anything less of me? Did you think there was any way I was going to let that slide? Zero. Exactly. I take my family to a WWE event as a bystander, as a fan, trying to relax. No stress. Don't have to worry about.
We talked about this on the podcast. I don't like Goldberg, but I respect that he's not a piece of shit like Hogan is, like Flair is. He's a family man, family first. Wife, kid first, nothing else. And so even though I think he's a prick, I respect that about him. The fact that he kept his nose clean, wasn't fucked up on drugs, wasn't in jail, wasn't Sonny, you know, wasn't Ric Flair. Wasn't Buff Bagwell, you know. I think he's kind of a prick, but at the end of the day, he's a man with values, and you know how can you hate that, you know?
So there was absolutely no way I was going to let him get away with it. I didn't know when, I didn't know where.
Although he does win, I am changing my name legally to Mantar, and I'm going to get the Mohawk thing.
So yeah, he embarrassed me in front of my family. And so
Goldberg reminds me a lot of my dad here. He kind of looked like that at the end. You know, he'd kind of wear a hat. He's bald, goatee. Not quite as jacked as Goldberg, but he kind of looks like my dad a little bit.
He stepped up and pretty much put himself into that spot. I think it was a logical choice. Because he ain't getting away with it.
Right, exactly. When that fucking brainless ape is the voice of reason, maybe things are a little fucked. You know?
Michael, I am going to beat the out of Gunther.
Are you going to beat the fuck out of Gunther? Okay.
It was a very emotional Goldberg in this interview. Now, when it was over, I asked Bill, I said, is this definitive? Your retirement match, your final match in professional wrestling? He looked me in the eye and he says, yes, it is. Then I said, what happens if you win the World Heavyweight Championship? Goldberg says, interesting dilemma, isn't it? Well, it sure is, and you can
So Cole says Goldberg said it's his last match, but if he wins the title, well, interesting dilemma.
make sure it's the last time
It's Saturday Night's Main Event. He's not going to win the title.
sees Goldberg as Gunther defends his gold against the man, the WWE Hall of Famer, Goldberg.
I miss Liv. Dom is just coping. So what's the story with that match getting canceled?
Dom, you're still Intercontinental Champion, okay? So once you get cleared by medical, you're going to show AJ Styles exactly why they call you Dirty Dom. Roxy, you face Jade Cargill tonight. When you beat her, you're going to go on to become the Queen of the Ring. JD, me and you next week, we're going to bring the tag team titles home to the clubhouse. All right?
I feel like there's no reason
Tag team titles.
other than Dominic doesn't want to go over there.
You are the women's tag team champions, okay? So chin up, everyone. We're good.
Yeah, but what about Pierce and Nick? They still haven't made a decision on whether or not we're these women's tag team champions.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when it comes, okay? But is it right now complaining all days up in heaven?
Gay there? What did you just say? No, what did you just say? Say it to my face.
Yes,
Answer up.
that's it. Exactly. That's what we need. Get fired up. That's the enforcer I know. You can't just let Rhea Ripley walk all over you like she did last week. We need you.
I like how Dom looks legitimately sad, like he misses Liv.
Would go out there and make her pay for what she did last week.
You're right. Yeah, I'll take care of Rhea.
Smash her, sis. Look how little Roxanne is. I cannot get over how little she looks. She reminds me of like a 16-year-old hostess I would hire or something, you know, like just 10th grade, you know, parents forcing her to get a job, wearing way too much makeup. Tom is so sad about no Liv. All right, so it's time for Jade and Rockwell. Or I'm sorry, not Rockwell, Roxanne. Jade, the female glacier, only way hotter. I don't even understand how evolution made a creature like that. It's fucking ridiculous.
Opportunity to see the powerful Jade Cargill in action. Semi-finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Who beats Asuka in the final Saturday? Jade, Roxanne.
This is gonna be quite the mismatch. You got Jade basically fighting against one of her legs.
Corey, tell me about Jade Cargill.
Oh yeah, Spartan Sprinkles, thanks for the 5. Jesus Christ. Are they talking about both sides of their fucking pussies all day long? I don't want to die in Israel's wars used to be an actual right-wing rally cry. Now it's crazy how people treat politics like a team sport. It's ridiculous. The biggest reason why Trump has the supporters that he has is because people hate liberals so much. They're so, the anti-woke people, they don't give a fuck. They just want to see them upset. And I'm like, this isn't a game. You know, these people treat it like a game, just like, you know, when you're happy when a certain team wins because you hate their fans type of thing. You know, you can't be that way with real life stuff. You know, that reserve that shit for sports, pro wrestling even. You know, to be tribal and fucking stupid and think with your heart, not with your head, all that stuff. That's reserved, should be reserved for sports. You know, but when it comes to real life, you shouldn't go into the voting booth voting for somebody that you know if they win, the liberals are going to cry. That is a stupid reason to go vote. And the majority of their votes, that's where they come from. And they know it. That's why Fox News spends all their time telling their stupid audience how bad liberals are ruining everything. And everything's Biden's fault and blah, blah, blah. You know, they just get them riled up. Get them riled up over gender and beer cans and all this stupid shit. Get them distracted with dumb stuff while they destroy the goddamn world. It's, and the funny thing is, it's so obvious to everybody that's not a brainwashed dumb fuck. You know, we can all see this very clearly. It takes a normal human functioning brain to be able to recognize this. But not them. The more the liberals are angry, the happier they are, even if the world is burning. And that's what you call obsession and just sheer ignorance. Unadulterated, raw, aggressive ignorance. Hello, Roxanne. I like how she spins around and does her little thing. See, I'm a wrestling fan. I have the right to irrationally not like somebody. I have no reason not to like Roxanne. She's a good little worker. But there's just something about her. She doesn't connect with me. She looks like a fucking kid. I feel like it's against the law to be attracted to her, you know, that type of thing. You know, she's just a child. Look how little she is. And Jade is this, like, towering specimen. God, these women love basking in their entrances, don't they? I mean, all the wrestlers do. Like, how many little, like, 4th grading girls are at school, like, doing that at the recess? Yeah, pretending to be Roxanne. That nation, that's a very skinny skyscraper right there. In Columbus. God, you can even see the heat. You know, that's summertime, right? That's summertime heat. That flat landscape. They just showed Stephanie McMahon's, look at these two.
I just want to really wish you good luck to
Now, Lyra, on the other hand.
Sorry for being a bit weird last week.
Look at Becky behind him creeping.
Nobody knows more than I do how much you've earned this title shot.
See, Lyra doesn't look like a kid to me. She looks like a woman.
Know that I needed your permission.
But Roxanne doesn't.
Okay, I'm sorry. Look, this title match has been on my mind all week. Means a lot to me, but
You three are going to have a triple threat match, and you know it. There's going to be no title change. There's not even going to be a finish. There's going to be a schmoz. Lyra will run in. She'll fuck up. Blah, blah, blah. All that's going to happen. Bailey back in the ring tonight. Excited to see that. Man, it's not a game, and sooner or later, you know, when the shit really hits the fans in this world, those dumbasses are going to realize that maybe going stark raving mad over fucking Rainbow and Target might have been a waste of time, you know, and there's bigger issues to worry about, you know. They got them all distracted with the fucking transgender in sports, and they're fucking freaking out, you know, and not paying attention to anything that matters at all. It's very easy to manipulate stupid people, and that's why that guy is president.
There's so much on the line if you win the Queen of the Ring tournament. You get an opportunity at the champion of your respective brand at SummerSlam. What happened last year when Nia Jax won the 2024 Queen of the Ring.
And Jade and Asuka is my final. I've got Asuka winning, but part of me wonders if WWE would like to make Jade the Queen of the Ring, you know? That'd be like a perfect accolade for her, you know? My argument, though, is I think she can get a title shot against who I expect to be champion by then, Naomi, unless they save Naomi's cash in for SummerSlam. But I was kind of thinking Naomi would cash in at Evolution, and then she could still face Jade. And where's Bianca? Where's she been? She's not hurt or anything, right? Like, I was kind of feeling like a Jade, Bianca, Naomi triple threat for SummerSlam for the title.
But Roxanne has to be fully aware of the game-changing power of Jade. Case in point. Jade Cargill slings Roxanne into the corner. Jade knocked off Meech and Nia Piper in a fatal four-way on SmackDown to advance to the semifinals. And there again, the power of Jade Cargill. And this is what Jade needs to do. Just
Jesus.
what works for her, the power game. You do it.
I mean, Roxanne's not going to be able to win this without some Judgment Day help. And I didn't catch what they were talking about in the back, so I don't know what Roxanne or Raquel was talking about. She went off to do something.
Championship in her career to have the opportunity if she wins Queen of the Ring. And I think that sort of irks Jade Cargill. She wants to fulfill the prophecy that she set for herself. Jade feels that she's already the uncrowned Queen of the Ring, whether the tournament's going on or not. And again, this cat and mouse game continues between Roxanne and Jade. Perez looking to use her quickness. And Jade Cargill again. That pop-up face first goes Perez. And the power game obviously in Cargill's corner.
Now, this is Jade. Help me out with Jade's hair here. This is real hair, or... I mean, it's got extensions in it for sure. It's just dyed hair, right? That's not a wig. It's some of her real hair dyed blonde with extensions in it. I don't know this universe because, you know, as you can see.
Around we go, but Cargill able to put the brakes on. And a backbreaker knee right to the spine of Perez. Cargill, an incredible athlete. Boatload of charisma. She's extremely confident. Said at one point that she's obsessed with all this. Winning in a WWE ring.
Her favorite number is 5. Okay.
She does tend to get a little
5 push-ups.
Like she is right now, but that could just get under the skin of Roxanne Perez. Well, we'll see how Roxanne reacts to this. Roxanne, a former 2-time NXT Women's Champion, and Perez going to slowly buy some time.
We have a private little dining area in our restaurant for like little private groups of like 15 people. And we had a lively one in there. It was a bunch of like rich dudes that like owned, I guess like a law firm, and they were all in there having a great time. And there was like only 2 women in there. But one of the women was like a really fit-looking strong girl. And for some reason, these drunk assholes decided to have push-up competitions on the floor in there. Because I walk in there, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And there's these like 60-year-old dudes doing push-ups. And they're only getting like 10, 12, 13, 15, something like that. Homegirl gets down there and busts out like 45 of these, puts them all to shame. I was laughing so hard. Laughing so hard. All those men, she kicked their asses. All right, we are back in 3 minutes from a commercial break. I'm going to go get another one of these.
Sometimes she does some undermined things to take control of the matchup. That's what she's done here. And you take out the leg, take away the power. Call it underhanded, undermined, whatever you want to call it. It's effective. Roxanne Perez is a student of the game. She knows ways to hurt you.
Yeah, Bundy. Bundy loved the old 5 count.
Roxanne in complete control and looking to pick up.
I remember that as a kid with my LJN figures. Whenever I played with Bundy, I would always do the 5 count. The 5 count was when I was in single digits in age. Except for like when he came back in 94. I guess he still wanted to do the 5 count, but the 5 count was more fun in the 80s.
Finals of the Queen of the Ring, and that would just cap off. And again, continues to work the knee of Cargill. And Roxanne Perez, we saw her do this to Rhea Ripley a number of weeks ago. She picks a body part, but she's relentless on the attack. Again, Roxanne earned the nickname of the Prodigy. This woman has wisdom in the ring well beyond the time she's actually served inside of it. And Cargill trying to fight back, and Perez now with a couple of right hands, Jade with one of her own. Student of the game.
Nice by Roxanne. Took out Jade's leg.
Roxanne set a record in the Women's Royal Rumble match this year, lasting longer than anyone in history. She's also involved in the Elimination Chamber match. Been a great year so far. Continues to torture Cargill as a 5 count. Referee Jessica Carr administering the count.
And it's unfortunate that despite the accolades you just mentioned, Roxanne Perez still feels undervalued and overlooked here in WWE. This is a massive opportunity for Perez to show the entire women's division what she's capable of.
Still a minute left in this commercial break.
Rally Cargill here. And Roxanne again drives her back to the mat. Oh! Perez continuing to attack the knee of Cargill. Well, one thing with her attitude, there's no doubt she'll fit in well with the Judgment Day.
Well, they're advertising right there. SmackDown in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. When's the last time you talked to her? Last week? And now, again.
And I remember that one time, like, when it all first started, and then all the shit with that journalist went down. I feel like the next one, they stopped mentioning, wasn't it that one, I think it was like the second or third show, whatever it was, basically they were promoting the show, the pay-per-view, but they weren't really mentioning the words Saudi Arabia a lot, if at all. I feel like they just tried to ignore the fact that it was there and not talk so much about it. And then that first one, like they ran the propaganda package and shit, you know, like it's just so, it's so slimy, you know, all for money. Give us credit. We're letting women drive in 2019. Yay. Good job. We're so proud of you. Oh, took out her leg. Yeah, see, and that's the same leg, too. Roxanne didn't even hit the wrong one.
Has been incredible in her strategy here. Saw her do this to Rhea Ripley a few weeks back and out of Cargill tonight. And then running uppercut to the back of the neck by Perez. Roxanne
Nice. Springboard moonsault. That is what I do like about Roxanne's size, because she's so damn small, is that she can execute moves like that.
Saudi Arabia, Night of Champions, and Perez doing an outstanding job here. Roxanne just needs to do her best to keep her cool, not get frustrated, not make any mistakes, because she is in complete control of Jade Cargill. As we take another look at this picture, perfect.
That was perfect.
Springboard moonsault nearly ended it in favor of Perez. 13,000.
Here comes a drone. I hope it crashes into some fan's head and they sue.
She's so young, still has so much of a career ahead of her, but she acts like a veteran in the ring. Because Roxanne possesses the skill set of a veteran. Again, you mentioned earlier, trained by the great Hall of Famer, Booker T. Oh, and again, that bad leg, she's been given out. Perez now trying to lock in a sleeper here on Cargill. It's in completely, but it's in enough. Yeah, Cargill down to one knee now. Perez trying to, and again, we talked about how Roxanne was attacking the leg. Obviously, Jade having trouble maintaining a vertical base, keeping her legs underneath her. Able to create the separation, though, driving Perez into the corner as Jade collapses to the mat. Roxanne may have an opening here.
There she goes, all the way up to the top. I like how she climbs up backwards. Oh, God, she got caught. I do. I like her toughness. She's scrappy. The wee but mighty Roxanne Perez. Oh, she kept up with the bad leg. Come on, Jade. Kind of rooting for Jade in this one just to win it clean.
Takes out Perez and another one by Jade. And here comes Jade Cargill. Big boot to Perez off the ropes. And Jade with a spine buster. And Jade
I want to take Jade Cargill to my high school reunion.
competitive Roxanne Perez.
Walk in with her on my arm.
Cargill now stalking down Perez.
Oh, did she just lick her? Damn, that is a rough choke slam.
Cover now by Jade. Hooks forelegs. Roxanne able to kick out.
Just rough.
We mentioned it earlier. I mentioned it. Jade has a tendency to get a little overconfident, as we just saw. Had she gone straight into the cover, had she not taken that extra second for the extracurricular activity.
And that's why I felt like it was hard for Jade to get her up. Like, Roxanne's short, but she's kind of got the Toni Storm booty, you know? And so watching Jade catch her on that top rope move and just the way that was executed looks so awesome. Oh, is that it? Is that her finisher? Or is Roxanne going to counter out of it? Yep. No way! Cargill kicks out.
What a counter by Roxanne.
Oop, missed the pump kick. Ow. Ow.
Perez caught her with one of her own.
I feel like that was her other leg.
Roxanne showing her technical wizardry inside the ring. Here comes Perez. And caught by Cargill. Down
Oof.
goes Jade Cargill.
I thought Jade might have tweaked her other leg there. I hope I'm wrong about that. Oh, look at that.
Cover on Cargill to advance. Tonight at Champions. Cargill kicks it too.
It felt like when Jade did that pump kick, I thought she was kicking with the injured leg. So when she landed on her plant leg, she looked like she legit hurt it. But I'm hoping that's the injured leg and she was just selling. I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Shot and then some. And they still keep kicking out. Now Perez talking trash to Cargill. Roxanne spending a little too much valuable time. And Cargill with a right hand.
Leon Gore, everybody is fully up to date on everything. Don't worry. We know exactly what's going on. Oh, that wasn't a good looking kick, though.
She got enough of her, but maybe just
Did not look good.
Cargill now. Lifting Perez up.
Big power bomb. Again? Hold on, Roxanne. Nope.
Again, trying to put Perez in position. She does now.
Ah, that's going to be it. Yep, she's going to win. Good. Jade advances.
Win by Cargill. She's going to face Asuka at Night of Champions.
Jade Cargill and Asuka. That's kind of a fun match. I mean, a dream match even.
Boy, that was a test for Cargill tonight. And she passed against the very game.
I mean, she won at WrestleMania, you know, winning it, winning the Queen of the Ring. I could see it. I feel like I want Asuka, but I feel like it might be Jade.
Entry into the Queen of the Ring final where the Empress of
Beating Asuka would be a good feather in her cap.
could be a career-defining test for the star of WWE. Take another look at this. The power of Cargill delivering a powerbomb and
I do too, Leon. Jesus. So all I really care about is just everyone's safety. Not just safety of WWE wrestlers, but there's a lot of civilians, you know, during all this shit. Not to mention the Israel-Gaza stuff, but, you know, just in general now, this whole situation puts more civilians at risk. And they're in a lot more jeopardy than WWE wrestlers on a charter flight. But you still got to worry about them, you know? I think some people miss the point there. It's okay to be worried about them, you know? Here's Asuka. Look at what she's wearing, little leather jacket. I don't even think she has any makeup on. She got a little. There is? I didn't realize they had history in the tag team ranks. Tell me they weren't tag team champions together. Did I forget that? I literally thought they'd never faced. I'm like, oh, this can be a dream match. And then Cole's like, oh, no, they've had history. I'm like, I don't remember. Yeah, that guy paid to see Roxanne. Well, he got to see her. He didn't say, I paid to see Roxanne win. He just said, I paid to see Roxanne. So, according to his sign, he got his money's worth. All right, so next week it's going to be 3 p.m. Pacific. I have to watch Raw at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No. Barry, it's going to be noon for you, bro. I don't want to. I'm busy at 3 o'clock.
You don't even have to say nothing, Bruce. Because me and you been in the trenches. From fighting my family.
Yeah, I hear you, man. We're definitely old, and remembering things is hard. Shane, Jade just beat Roxanne in a pretty good little match, to be honest. And Braun Breaker beat Penta to open the show. And that's about it. That's all we've seen. There was a sit-down with Goldberg that I barely listened to. Something blah, 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 I'm going to win. Something like that.
Gunther is here. We heard from his opponent, Goldberg, in Saturday night's main event earlier tonight. Gunther, the champ, joins us live on Netflix.
I will say, though, Shane, the ending of that Jade Roxanne match, something happened there. It looked like Jade wanted to go for 2 power bombs, and there was miscommunication. Wonky-looking finish, but enough good moments in the match where get some mild thumbs up from me. "28 years ago, almost, that he debuted this date on the same date as the Madison Square Garden Raw, where Stone Cold stunned Vince McMahon. And earlier on in the day of that same show was when Vince McMahon told Bret Hart that he can't afford his contract anymore, and that set the wheels in motion for the screw job. That all happened on the same day that Goldberg debuted. It was a big night in the business.
Goldberg said earlier tonight that this is his retirement match.
This is WWE's version of the NBA on NBC song. What a fucking banger.
Saturday. Yeah, that is 2 weeks from Saturday, but this coming Friday on Netflix internationally.
Little guy and his daughter. That's cute. Hi. Oh, we're in a commercial for you guys, for some of you.
We do know we will have a new King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring crown, as we just saw moments ago. Asuka and Jade Cargill in the Queen of the Ring fight. Yeah, again, ladies and gentlemen, start time of 8 o'clock.
Like, I'd hate to have to go over there if I'm just booked for a run-in or something. Jackie!
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Dominic.
It was cool to see her all over the NHL finals and stuff. She's awesome. Dom, what's going on, man?
I'd say thank you for the time, but you requested it. You said you
So
wanted
Dominic is going to talk here during commercial. Let's see if he says anything about his match.
Morgan, your injury.
Sounds like he might have said, I don't want to go.
What would you
Jackie, what I would like to say is what I'm trying to say is that I miss my güerita.
No, Shane. I don't think Night of Champions is going to be moved. They just talked about Saudi Arabia just 2 seconds ago, so it's only going to be moved if the government tells them to move. That's the only thing that's going to stop them. And we know that. That's how WWE is. They're not going to jeopardize a single penny of their profits unless they are forced to do so. Which I think is kind of shitty. I would just not go for the mental health of my talent. Yeah, we're going to be fine. We're safe over there. But, you know, the talent is worried. And a lot of them might have nervous breakdowns over this. Let's not go over there. You know, just that would be enough reason. Forget the safety aspect. You know, just the fact that what it might do to your crew and staff mentally. You know, some who are more informed, those who are less informed, and, you know, all parts in between, you know. It's a wide array of, you know, fear and emotions probably going on. And in today's age of, you know, being, you know, conscious of mental health and things like that, it's, to me, that would be all the reason I would need to make that call if I'm the call maker.
Also, superstars participated in all kinds of fan-centered events and activities, autograph signings, sporting events, photo sessions, and many athletes and celebrities. Well, they all wanted to be.
Plus, you never know any of these you know, some of these guys might have a wife at home and a newborn baby, and she might be like, you ain't going over there. You know, you don't know. You don't know the situations. You get a fucking crazy wife. You might have to have a meeting with Triple H, like, look, this bitch is going to go fucking crazy if I go over there. She's going to burn my shit. I understand. I've been there. I'm married to one. I love Natalia. I love Maxine. I love Tozawa. I love Sheamus. I love everybody here. But Maxine and Natalia more. Out. Sheamus and Rusev.
Trying to roll me up. There's no march to beat at my own drum. And that drum is a 10 beats the power on which I would love to smash against that chest of yours.
Rusev. I kind of want Lana to come back. I think he needs that. They're back together, apparently. I'm very happy for them.
Some God. I remember you being the most embarrassing and egotistical member.
AJ has kids. He definitely has kids. Well, he's got to go to the Saudi Arabia community.
So what's it gonna be? More BS. It's time to put up or shut up!
Night of Champions? Are they going to replace AJ and Dom? Sheamus and Rusev?
Not wait for those two to get in the ring once again. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight Monday Night Raw is
Oh, AJ. AJ Lee, not AJ. I was like, yeah, AJ Styles, he does have kids, but he seems fine about it. I thought you meant AJ Styles. Both AJs. Well, AJ's got Wendy, right? So Punk has AJ. AJ has Wendy. Who is this, Gunther or Ludwig? Gunther. There's the green shirt guy. There's Gunt, man. I was just complimenting Gunther. A few weeks back, he wore normal human pants. Human-length pants. But here he is with the fucking exposed ankles again.
We mentioned it before. It is Seth
That's as big of a pet peeve with me as all the stupid wrestling names like Braun Breaker. I really hate that look on men. I think it looks so stupid. Why would you wear like long pants that come up 3 inches off your ankle and then like no socks and you have that part of your feet exposed? It just looks weird. What are you, a fucking girl? I wouldn't be caught dead in that. If you killed me and tried to put pants on like that on me, I'd come out, I'd wake up from the dead and take them off. Like, I wouldn't allow it. Goldberg came out and ruined it. Just showed up. Now, as we talked about on the podcast, how do you end Saturday night's main event on a high note if Goldberg loses? I think he's going to get an endorsement from Goldberg. Gunther is, after he wins. Or maybe Seth tries to come in and cash in on Gunther and Goldberg stops him. Either way, you have to like end on a nice moment for Goldberg. And do that without him winning the championship. If he wins the title, I can't, guys.
Getting speared out of your boots. Jackhammer. 1, 2, 3, and wake up looking at the lights. Bill Goldberg is the most destructive man of his generation. But it is not 1999 anymore.
It's not 1999 anymore. That is true.
And right now, I'm the guy. I'm the best professional wrestler in this company. And the world
Gunther, I couldn't wear that shirt. I'd be so worried I'd get ketchup or wine on it.
loses it. And I heard what Bill Goldberg had to say. It
Sorry
stands
about that.
As always, but there's nothing he can say that will change my perception about him. And my perception is that I see a 58-year-old one-trick pony that can't
One-trick pony. Just trying to fix my camera a little bit. Up. There we go.
So, Bill, I want to take the moment now and officially apologize to your wife and to your son for everything that I'm going to do to the man that used to be Goldberg. I'm unlike anybody you ever stepped in the ring with.
I feel like Goldberg's final match losing in a cash-in would just be weird.
I'm going to embarrass you again because it's my personal responsibility to make sure that the legacy and the myth of Bill Goldberg forever dies.
I mean, Gunther versus Roman Reigns would be fun. I'd be into that. And then Seth cashes in on the winner of that. That would be cool too, but part of me thinks Seth is going to get that other title. He's going to cash in on Cody. After Cody beats Cena. Or after Cody beats Jay, then beats Cena. Then Seth wins. There's Becky.
Excuse me, Becky. I know you're getting ready to defend your Intercontinental Championship, but I was hoping.
How do you bend your arm that way?
Thoughts on the champ?
My thoughts, I just witnessed Bailey and Lyra conspiring to work together. Because that's the only way that they know they can get this title off me. So you know what?
Becky, just calm down. Just
Fair
calm
enough.
down,
Thank you,
Becky.
Becky. Cole Graves, as I send it back to you, Becky, understandably focused on her upcoming. Actually, you know what? Hold that thought. Hey, Sammy. Sammy, do you have?
Hi, Sammy.
I know-
What's up?
I know this isn't a good time, but
I like how Sammy buttons all of his buttons on his collared shirt.
tough loss to Randy Orton
Like he's
on
4.
Friday night, but we all know how much becoming a world champion means to you. So I have to ask, on behalf of the WWE universe, how are you processing this loss?
Yeah, the earthquake. I wouldn't put it past us to have an earthquake here. We've never had one on stream,
What does encompass?
but sooner or later it'll happen.
Trying to get under your nerves. Let's just speak plainly here. You really, really, really had me. I believed every single thing you said last week. It was a great speech. I'm good enough to become the world's champion. But what happened? Exactly what I told you would happen.
I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be weird though if it really happened?
Am I right? be world champion.
Sammy is going to win that Royal Rumble. Said he's never going to be world champion, huh? Oh, and he got nailed. Punched him right out.
I am done talking to you. I talked to Adam Pearce.
Oh, Night of Champions?
Match is official. TikTok.
Our match is official, but where? Night of Champions official or next Monday on Raw official? Got him. So Cross seems happy about that. Okay.
Sammy had had enough, but seemed like that's what Cross wanted. Or did. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not quite sure what Becky Lynch was watching earlier on. I don't think Bayley and Lyra were conspiring against her. Lyra was basically wishing Bayley good luck tonight, and Bayley saying, "You'll get first dibs on the title if I win." But can you really blame Becky Lynch for being in that headspace? I mean, Becky understands what it means to be a champion in WWE. You are perpetually a target. And Becky has to be feeling the heat because Becky is very familiar with what Bayley is capable of. This woman, prior to the creation of the United States Intercontinental Championship, was the Grand Slam champion in the women's division. Bayley is a history maker, just like Becky Lynch. Well, you know, here's the deal with Bayley, too. Bayley was taken out of...
No way we're getting a finish here. And sure as hell not getting a title change.
Intercontinental Championship up for grabs live on Netflix.
Damn, Angie. Sorry you're late. Sorry I'm late. Had to watch a 90-Day Fiancé. Well, sometimes you got to do that. Does it take 90 days? How long does it take?
You know, another thing, Corey, that is important to talk about, the fact that the winner of this matchup will probably be bringing the Intercontinental...
Oh, I didn't notice that, Barry. Did they add lyrics to this bullshit? We're at a commercial break, but yeah, Bayley's got the most Def Rebel-ish song you can get, you know. Her theme is exactly what's wrong with Def Rebel.
Premium live event, the first time back in 2018. Have another one coming up in 2 weeks. And the winning that opportunity means a lot to both of these women, both Bayley and Becky Lynch, to be holding a championship.
Oh, streaming on Netflix, Evolution excludes select markets. Which ones? I hope not San Diego. Rodrigo, do I like to join DDP Yoga? I got the whole thing, man. There he is. Doing his leg stretches.
I was going to say nice things about it. Good luck. Hey, now that you've thrown Bayley off her game, I'm going to put back to the website and get the odds on this. Hey, it's a start, right? I've been trying to offer the olive branch for a number of weeks now.
Bayley's doing the long, so she doesn't have to stand in the ring like an idiot. She's actually going out there and glad-handing the fans. That's nice.
Just about everything in her soon-to-be Hall of Fame career. We'd love to have the Intercontinental Championship on your resume. And for someone as passionate as Bayley is about
Zane, why are we suffering through a Becky Lynch match? Because she's hot? I don't know. Everybody likes Becky. But you're right. We're going to get some interference coming. There's no way. We're getting a triple threat out of these three. You know we are. Spartan Sprinkles, JBL thought he deserved a Medal of Honor for going to base in Afghanistan, so AJ Styles probably feels like he is, at the very least, preparing to serve his country. Look at her. Look at what she is wearing. Like, it wouldn't matter. Like, you could have Seth Rollins come out in that, and you wouldn't think anything of it. Hat and all. Their closets, I swear to God, in their bedroom, in their big, lavish walk-in closet, both of them frequently say to the other, "Hey, babe, is this yours or mine?" Like, you know they do. Jesus Christ, what an outfit. If you're watching a commercial, you haven't seen it yet. Intimidator. Personally, you think Becky isn't attractive? Well, we're to each his own. I think she's the hottest one there.
Championship against Bayley. Long-time rivalry renewed here tonight.
Not my champ sign. I love that. I mean, you could, with that coat, you could green screen effect that out in an edit and just make it look like arms and a Becky head walking around the ring. You know, I don't know jack shit about video games, but I did see that Abyss thing for the 2K25 deal. I saw it on the social medias that you can find online. Saw it on there today. Oh, hold on one second. Man, Becky Lynch.
These two rivals will go one-on-one. Becky Lynch holding an edge with 5 wins to 3 the last time they went one-on-one back in February of 2023, over 2 years ago, when they met inside a steel cage match. Tonight, it is for the coveted Women's Intercontinental Championship. And an interesting note, Corey, Bayley is actually competing in this matchup, she told me earlier today, in the gear she was planning to wear at WrestleMania. Before that was taken.
Is this the last match? What, tonight? No, we got Cody and Jay. That's going to be our main event. We probably have an hour left in this show, so I don't know what else we're going to do besides that match and this one. This is going to be a 2 commercial break match, I would think. April 14th, Bayley's first match in 2 months. Over 2 months. Today, we are basically right on top of the anniversary of Nancy and Daniel Benoit's death, which we're at now 28 years. No, 18 years. I'm sorry. 18 years. I remember 3 things very vividly. 9/11. Owen Hart's fall, and where I was when I found out about Benoit. I also remember where I was when Obama won in 08, because you could feel it. I was with friends. We were all very happy. I do remember that too. Felt like at the time, maybe as a nation, we were starting to snap out of it. But I was wrong. It's like, oh my God, maybe we're not as fucking dumb anymore. I'm like, no, we still are. Never mind, false alarm. One moment, please. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. I heard Elizabeth stomping around out there in the hallway. She came home, so just wanted to say hey real quick. I was like, I'll be done in like an hour. That was a good move. I don't recall. I mean, obviously, Becky and Bayley have had a crap ton of history. I just don't recall a lot of it specifically. You know, they've probably had title changes against each other and maybe even a feud or two, but I don't remember anything that they've ever done together, even though there's probably 10 miles long of results that feature the two of them. Like when Becky was champ and she held the title for over a year from like 2019 to 2020 up until she gave it away to Asuka. Was she feuding with Bayley around that time or anything like that, or Sasha? Oh, good point. I didn't think about that with Dominic. Yeah, I think we know the reason why he's not going to Saudi. It's not because he asked. He's worried about the situation in the Middle East. It's that they don't have chicken tenders over there. So he requested Triple H, like, what do you expect me to do? Go over somewhere that has no tendies? Are you out of your fucking mind? And Triple H is probably like, that's a good point. You can take it off. So, yeah. Saved by the lack of tendies. Yeah, I guess I remember Bin Laden, too. I also remember Saddam Hussein. I remember coming home, and my roommate had it on, like, the news was on, walked in with my girlfriend. And he's like, we got Saddam, or whatever. I'm like, oh, no shit. And we just sat right down, and I had my jacket on. I don't remember what time of year it was. I might not have had a jacket on. But I didn't do anything. I came right from the door, right to the couch. Like, didn't take anything off or anything. Just sat right down. We were just watching. I'm like, huh, we got Saddam. I have no idea what time of year that was, though. But for some reason, I feel like I had a jacket on. We are back from commercial, finally. 13,000. I mean, that's their typical audience, but I think that's about what they pulled in at Arena Mexico. Somewhere around there. 13, 14, something like that. That was a super fun atmosphere on Wednesday. I mean, I think I like Becky. I like Mercedes. I don't really like Charlotte, but I like Bayley the most. I think of the 4 horsewomen, I gotta rank Bayley my first favorite. Probably go Becky 2. Mercedes 3, Charlotte 4, distant 4. I feel like Bayley, Becky, and Mercedes are kind of gobbed together, and then Charlotte's like way below them. God.
This matchup has delivered back and forth.
Jeez.
Desperate belly-to-back suplex by the champion, with the challenger answers with the Bayley-to-belly suplex, a maneuver that's brought Bayley so much success throughout her career, but couldn't do the job tonight. Only two women have held the
That Brian, that's verbatim. That's exactly how it went. Like I walked right in. He's like, "We got Sodom." Like, oh no shit. Good for us, I guess. What I do remember about that time is that people like felt like it was revenge for 9/11, or there was, we somehow like, it was like he had nothing to do with it. we literally in the media morphed Sodom into Bin Laden. How that administration was got away with doing that is beyond me.
sunset flip, sent Becky spine first into the buckle, and Bayley with an opportunity. Cover for the championship. Becky at 2.
Like it took another, what, 10 years or something like that before we got Bin Laden. It was a long time.
What else can I show Becky Lynch that the man hasn't already seen? Now with Becky in trouble. Bayley going to climb up top. Bayley's comfortable up there. We've seen her do this a number of times in the past. Taking a little bit too much time, and it allows Becky to regroup. Extra moment necessary to stabilize herself on the climb may have cost the challenger Bayley. Bring it up. High risk district. High above the ring. Becky may have the upper hand then. Close to the spot. And Becky and Bayley take
Damn.
the superplex. And Becky looking for the armbar. Armbar in. The armbar's in on Bayley. Bayley trying to block it. Does a good job on the shoulders. And kick out, forcing Becky down. Trying to turn it into the disarmer. And Becky knows her. Bayley knows her so well. Able to counter. Shoulders down. Kick out by Lynch.
I always worry that Becky's arms are in jeopardy of being broken. She's got no elbow pad. Well, neither does Bayley, but she's got skinny ass arms.
Half grab by Bayley. Remember the bad arm. Yeah, that might be the only reason it's a half grab. I think Bayley intended on a full Boston crab, but her right arm's still giving her trouble. And that may allow Becky Lynch to make it to the ropes and force a break. Remember, Bayley can only win the title via tap out or pinfall.
I feel like this match is going to be pretty good, and it's going to be a shame for it to end the way it's going to end.
Big boot by Lynch. Becky favors the deacon. All these women giving everything they have in this
How the hell has Bayley stayed unmarried all this time?
Continental champion. And two of the all-time greats in the women's division in WWE
Charlotte's had like 7 husbands.
Continental Championship. Two women who are
Love it. Love it.
the trail in women's evolution.
I feel like Bayley would win a slugfest.
Handle slam. Bayley able to counter, and Bayley with a
Manhandle slam of her own. Bayley hits one.
but Becky realized exactly what the situation at hand was.
Terry Allen, thanks for the $3. At restaurant, you serve food to the customers. That's generally what we do, yeah.
She's got nailed with her own maneuver.
I will often bring food to the customers, sure.
ASAP. Well, Bayley
It's all encompassing.
they've had Becky in position to win this match. And now Bayley sit right over the announce table and into our laps here at ringside. And Becky with an opportunity now.
I don't know how other restaurants do it, but the way we do it is we have people come in, they sit down, they read the menu, they look at the menu, they pick out something on the menu they want, they tell the server that that's what they want, and then the server brings it to them. That's a good system. It works. Like I said, I don't know how other restaurants are doing it, though.
Becky's buried Bayley.
Some people might eat first and then order. I don't know. I'm kidding, Terry.
Championship. A win is a win is a win when you're the champ.
No, my hands get very dirty at work. I have a very cushy job. It's the best, but I do have to get dirty and move around sometimes, but it's fine. I'm outside. I'm looking at the ocean. It ain't hard. There she is. We knew Lyra would be here.
Coming into Bayley's aid. Look out, Lyra. And now Becky Lynch gets in the middle of it. Lyra Valkyrie is hey, don't touch her.
There we go. Of course, we predicted this the moment it was booked. Becky, well, yeah, Becky knows she wants the DQ. Becky's into it. Oh. Look out, Lyra. This is where it's all going to go down. Now Bayley's going to shove her. Watch. She's going to shove her. Oh, no. Never mind. Oh. Now Becky over the top of the table. These snazzy new tables, man. They're so fancy. They got buttons and gizmos and gadgets on the side. Come a long way from fucking Vince and JR and King were calling it on one of the underneath the ring tables, just with a tablecloth on it. Back in 97. Oof. How is it not 10 yet? 7. Okay, we're up to a 7 count. Bayley to the top. And there we go. Shockaroo. We didn't see that coming from 2 continents away. Yeah, be careful with these bumps, Lyra, with what you're wearing. Bayley, you'll get another shot. Calm down. Just chill. It's just going to have to be a triple threat. That's all. One of the most damned easiest things ever in the world to ever call. I put the winners on the overlay. I knew. I was like, Becky's going to win and Jade's going to win. That's why you're looking at them right now. I kept Jey Uso on there just because I felt bad because he lost the title. You know, I mean, shit. I wonder if there is an outside chance that John Cena shows up in the main event and costs Cody the match and Jey Uso wins. And it's Jey Uso versus Randy Orton at the King of the Ring. I don't think it is. I think Cody and Randy is the match you want to do. Because unless you have some people showing up in this match, that's going to be 2 straight clean losses for Jey, right? Well, not 2 straight. I guess he's wrestled since losing the title. But Gunther beat him clean, and now Cody's going to beat him clean. All right, Riyadh still advertised for Saturday. Or for Friday, I'm sorry. So what time do we have to watch that on Friday? I might be able to watch SmackDown because it's going to be early also. We might be able to do a review. No, we probably won't do a review. JD McDonough video package? It's commercial break. No kidding. I'll be right back. The JD McDonough video package is still going on. This is what they've chose to show me. Are we sure he's not the guy that runs on the table and attacks Will Ferrell and Elf? This isn't him, right? Sure looks like him. Here comes Raquel. She's got both belts up, and we're fading to commercial. Or no, we're coming back from commercial. Yeah, that's probably what we were doing. And there's Vegas. You know, I might go. I might go this time. I'm not going to get expensive seats at all, but I might go. To WrestleMania.
Ivy, don't tell those other two, but you've always been my favorite student, all right? Now, you should have won Money in the Bank, and you should have found yourself as Queen of the Ring, but you've had Stephanie Vaquer in your way, all right? Now, next time...
You've had Stephanie Vaquer in your way.
got someone in my way. Do what I did to Ray. Do what I did to Otis. Wipe them out completely, regardless of the cost. And we'll finish this lesson later. Now, far be it from me to laugh at someone else's misfortune unless they deserve it.
Don't laugh at his misfortune. Don't do that to Penta.
Pleasure watching Braun Breaker destroy you earlier tonight. Maybe I'll finish the job. Maybe I'll rip
Shut up.
your head and show everybody the ridiculous. Hey, stop!
Gable tried a cheap shot.
Yeah, take him out. Yeah, break his arm. He just broke Chad Gable's arm. Oh, there's Brutus. Look at Ludwig in the back. Did you see him? Peering over. What a weirdo. Raquel looks like someone you'd buy a gun from. Like one with the serial number scratched off. Ripley getting her revenge next week. The fucking ass move is hilarious. The running ass tackle.
Rhea, me jodiste y ahora lo vas a ver, pendeja. You're not gonna screw me out of Queen of the Ring and get away with it. So si tú quieres, chiquita, I can drag you out here by that nose ring, or you can make
Drag you out here by your nose ring. Ow, fuck.
and get in here and take the beating you deserve, mamona.
Rhea's like, all right, I'll come. All right, so Raquel, her mission of the night was to come out and call out Ripley. Getting a full-blown brawl here. The long hair is so good on her. Like, I was watching a match back of Ripley's like a few days ago when she had like the short blonde hair, like the super short. Didn't even look right. She was still in awesome shape and everything, but it was like, this fits her so much better. Oh, there's the kendos down there. She's going to pull out. Nope, she can pull out a table. Kendo sticks are right there. Kendo sticks are coming too. I cannot believe they have Slim Jim on these tables. I hate how cartoonish the table has become. I legit shit a full-blown cinder block the first time I ever saw someone go through a table. I could not believe it. Now it's like, oh yeah, table, yeah. So is she going to try to riptide what's her tits through this thing? Is that what we're doing? There you go. Get her in there. Riptide. Nope. Here comes Roxanne to save the day. Her new tag team championship partner. There we go. All right. So this is going to set up how they're going to maintain the tag team titles. They're now going to go to Pierce and be like, why don't I just fill in? And Pierce can be like, okay. Oh. Roxanne just ate a electric chair snake eyes. Oh, Ripley's going to go through the table, of course. It's the pro wrestling equivalent of whoever smelt it dealt it. You retrieve the table, you go through the table. Whoever denied it supplied it. And there we go. Roxanne will just fill in here. They don't have to vacate these championships. This is like Kane and Spike Dudley. And they got their little WWE belt, their Stanley Cup belt. I will never buy a sports team belt. I'm not doing it. I don't like that those two have blended. I'm not buying a Detroit Pistons belt. I'm not doing it. Against his buddy Jey Uso. No cheating, you guys. Because you're friends. Friends don't cheat. Barry, I'm hoping if Nikki teams with anybody, I'm hoping it's Rhea and not Bree mode. Because I might have a heart attack. He bumped into Piper Niven and Alba Fire in Vegas. Let's just say they were enjoying Vegas quite a bit. Good for them. That's what you're supposed to do there. I went with a bunch of friends once, and believe me, enjoyment was had. It's really fun when you're suddenly like, how the fuck did I get in this limo? It's awesome. Now we're getting an Asuka interview here with Kathy Kelly during the commercial break.
So how are you feeling heading into that match at Night of Champions? Soon, the Empress of Tomorrow will be the queen, because no one is
See, that's what I'm talking about. Here comes Io Sky. This is why I've picked Asuka. I would do this match at SummerSlam. And Jade can still get her title shot against Naomi and Bianca. Just like we always talked about. There's no more. See you at Summer. There's no more damage control, Io. I will be ready for that match. That's what I wanted. That's what I predicted the minute Asuka was announced to return. I'm like, I'd have her win the whole thing and face Io Sky at SummerSlam. But she's got to beat Jade Cargill first. And what I think speaks well for Asuka is you got to think about who's booking and making these decisions. Triple H, Asuka's his girl from NXT, you know. Think about how he treated her there. She never lost, you know. Jade Cargill's coming in from AEW. I'm sure he loves Jade and everything, but, you know, I feel like if he's going to pick a favorite there, he might go with Asuka. But I do think Jade winning and being crowned the queen, she'd look awesome in the whatever they stick on her, you know. So if she won, I'd be fine with it. I wouldn't be upset or anything. I just kind of predicted Asuka. Angie, thank you for the 5. You have Achilles tendon surgery on Friday. Holy crap, I'll be on the mend for a few months. Wow. Wow. Good luck to that. We on the watch along last night, we watched Halliburton's Achilles snap right there during the game. Did you injure yours, or was it different? That's good luck. That stuff is so fragile; it can just go on you, anybody at any time. Being on my feet is so important to my job. Like I can't snap an Achilles, so knock on wood. Good luck to you, Angie. Let us know how that goes, too. If you're laid up and on the mend, hop in for some streams. Up, here she comes. I want Raquel. Street fight. Next week? Or I guess next week? They're not telling us where any of these matches are happening. They've set up a couple of matches tonight. Rusev and Sheamus, they did the same thing, but they didn't really say where they're happening. Wow, they've got a 6-6 record and 1 no contest and 1 draw. So this is the tiebreaker for Cena and Punk? That's crazy. Who would have thought? Cena's going to win the tiebreaker, huh? Naturally. And at the end of the day, after all of us got so rock hard over that pipe bomb in 2011, Cena gets the last laugh. What an era he was a part of, you know? Like, Jesus, thinking back. I don't know why Cena was sitting on the ropes during that. Why didn't he go up to the ramp? That way Punk could, like, move a little bit off the table, you know? He's had to lay there the whole time. Yeah, but I don't think they would have added those. Like, I don't think that Sheamus and Miro match or a Rusev match would have been added to Night of Champions. I mean, it might have. Or the one they just set up there with Ripley and Raquel. I feel that would just be a next week thing, but maybe there's still part of them that isn't sure what the fuck's going to happen this week, and if they have to make any last-minute changes, it's best not to pre-announce this match in case they need to shuffle stuff around. Maybe that's the idea. So you could be right. Don't know. If we do happen to get any sort of an announcement about that in the next couple days, like if they do move it, I don't think they are, but if they do, I'll pop up with a quick video on it. Oh, I enjoyed Cena's pipe bomb, too. It was good. The original was better, and I thought it was a super cool way they set that up. Callback to right around the same time, you know, which was incredible. Very clever callback, and I enjoyed it.
As much as I change my t-shirts.
Hmm.
You're just a loudmouth opportunist who will step on the necks of people who actually work hard if it gets you ahead. The greatest of all time. Night of Champions. Balls in your court, hero. The best in the world. You can't see me. I see through you. Yin and yang.
Hey, good morning, Tito.
Once again, upon opposing shores.
Say hi to everybody on the stream. This is the big guy here. He's enormously big. Say hi, Tito. Say what's up.
The final reckoning takes place Saturday.
You awake?
Saudi Arabia, but we actually get things underway on Friday.
See?
The kickoff show
That's Tito.
at 10
He's barely awake right now.
a.m. on the West Coast on Peacock. That'll be in the Kingdom Arena. Then Saturday,
He lets me pick his eyes. He totally trusts me. He's the best. I kind of just woke him up. All he was doing was changing positions, and then I picked him up. Sorry, buddy. I mean, here we've got an overhead aerial shot of Riyadh right now, so they're going. They're going to have it there. It's all going to just happen. And everything's going to be fine, and they're going to be safe, and all of that. It's just still, you know, still, even knowing that.
championship on the line against Solo Sikoa. Found out earlier tonight that Karrion Kross has slithered under the skin of Sami Zayn to a degree that Sami has had about enough. Zayn, Kross, and champ. It's the king.
Oh, there we go, Zayn and Cross. That was the other match that they set up. We weren't really sure when it was going to happen. It's going to be, so Sammy's going to get a match in Saudi Arabia after all. I was thinking he wasn't going to make the trip. And it's going to be the Viper and Cody. Cody's going to have to go up against two of his friends here.
Will it be the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes or Jey Uso? We will have our answer in a matter of moments.
And here comes Jay. These fans.
They are pumped up and fired up for main event Jey Uso. They're about to yeet in Columbus.
Look at the fans.
Jey knows what's at stake, Corey. To quit this way, to get back in the hunt for the world
I love how he always pulls in a random kid. Come do the arm thing with me.
at SummerSlam. I caught up with Jey earlier this afternoon, and he told me that in spite
It's gotta be cool to be a kid today, to have this much like access, you know. I wouldn't have been able to like stand in the crowd with Randy Savage when I was a kid. Like, no way. Like, he wouldn't have picked me up and held me. Never would have happened. I wouldn't have been able to get one of them to follow me on Twitter and shit, you know, or respond to me, or, you know, take instant pictures, you know. Back in those days, you run into a wrestler, you don't even have a camera on you. All you got is a story. Like, if you are a child, a kid, and this is your first show, and you get that close to Jey Uso, like, you probably are literally shitting bricks out there. Full on bricks. You're never going to shut the fuck up about it at school tomorrow. Well, I guess most of them are out of school right now. Unless they failed and they're going to summer school.
heads into the ring with a man who has been a rival, a man who's been a friend. They've been tag team champions together. Jey and Cody, one-on-one. We can bet on one thing: the tag team championship reign, all of the moments they've spent together, traveling up and down the road. That all has to live in the past tonight. You fight your friends in this business. Here's the brackets for the King of the Ring tournament. Of course, Randy Orton knocked off Sami Zayn this past Friday on SmackDown to advance to the finals for a second straight year. He'll take on either Cody Rhodes or Jey Uso on Saturday.
No, probably no watch along for Night of Champions. Probably a review. If it remains in Saudi Arabia like it's looking like it will, we'll do a review after the show. Probably around the same time that we normally do the podcast on Saturdays. But if for any reason they do move it, and it moves here to the States, I'm going to miss the show because since it airs for me on the West Coast in the morning, I didn't bother taking the night off work. I'd watch the show and get the review done, and no need to take the night off. But if it gets moved here to the States, it's going to be more, local time, and I'm going to have to miss it. So I'm hoping, just for the wrestler's sake, I have to miss it. I hope they move it, but I don't think they're going to. Here comes Cody. Can you even see through those, Jay? They always got to run it back, don't they? Shh. Yeah, Corey doesn't get all psycho up there on the table like Pat McAfee does. Well, he's in the main event, so. I love the little blue and red lights that they flash there as he's coming out. See over top of the ring there? It kind of reminds me of kind of like the fade in after a commercial or something on a WCW show, how they would have those flashing lights. I almost think that's like a subtle nod to Dusty, those lights like that. Because it just reminds me of watching like WCW Saturday Night or something like that. And there's that crown that you get to wear like a fucking idiot if you win this. Like we're in the middle of No Kings protests here, and this fucker's gonna put a crown on. Oh my god.
Take on John Cena or CM Punk. Either way, it made him more than worthy of the biggest party in the summer. But right now, Cody's focus has to be singular. He has to be focused on Jey Uso and Jey Uso. I asked Jey Uso at the SummerSlam kickoff event at Fanatics Fest this past Saturday, who he'd rather face, Gunther or Goldberg, for the world title.
The guy with the green shirt sign, the guy in the green shirt with the green shirt guy sign isn't the green shirt guy. Say that 10 times fast. Yeah, I don't think there ever was a ceasefire. I think it was the orange dipshit just saying shit like he always does. Making sure to throw in his playground insults while he does it. Such a fucking child. Such a child. Fat, dumb 80-year-old orange child. All right, here we go. BFFs, kind of. Or maybe GFFs, good friends forever. We should get GFFs over, because I have lots of GFFs. BFFs are, you know, smaller, but GFFs, I got lots. We all do. There we go. Handshake, I like it. Let's have a good, nice, spirited contest here, fellas. May the best man win, and that man's going to be Cody. Look at this old school lockup. I laugh, you know, when fans, tribal ones, if they see, like, somebody do a moonsault in AEW, they're like, this isn't wrestling. I'm like, bitch, the most fundamental move in wrestling, the beginning of, like, 90% of all matches, the lockup is the most unrealistic thing you can ever see. You ever seen on a bar fight, two people doing that? Closest thing to that would be like a hockey fight where they're like grabbing the jerseys and holding each other down and nobody's really throwing any punches. I feel like the Slim Jim logo in the middle wasn't rotated the first time. It felt like it was like more centered. Changed it up to getting a little wild in there with their advertisements. Man, let's rotate it 20 degrees. No, you're a rebel. Oh, weird looking arm drags. Yeah, it's just about competition. I used to be a bowler. You know how many times I used to have to beat the shit out of my friends in that game? It was cool. They didn't hold it against me that I was just so awesome. And that's how Jay's going to feel tonight. Well, Vince can't be pardoned by Trump because there's no criminal charges on Vince. There might be one day, and then maybe he could, but right now, Vince doesn't need to be pardoned because all he's in the middle of is a civil suit in which pardons don't apply. All right, commercial, of course. I couldn't tell. We faded out of that. I'm like, are we coming back from commercial or going into commercial? We're going into commercial. Yeah, I don't want to start fighting stupid with stupid. You know, I understand that we're in an age right now where some, you know, boisterous, you know, media celebrity could become president because we're living at the dumbest time in our country's history. I get that that's happening, but I would not try to fight that battle. I think next time around, after all the shitstorm that's going to happen, you just need like a booty egg or somebody like that, somebody that's a fucking normal voice of reason, that's not fucking nuts, that can handle it, that'll go on the Joe Rogans, that'll go on all the podcasts and say, look, idiots, enough with this shit, and be able to hold their own, and they'll win any argument because they'll have facts and knowledge and education to back them up, most specifically. And I'd rather go that direction than saying let's get another blowhard out there.
guys know it's time to go to work. Like you said, the pleasantries were exchanged early on. Now it's about who's the better wrestler.
I was curious too, like how is this match going to be in general? Is it going to, when we're done here, are we going to say this was a good match?
It's really a tough one, and I hate to be a fence sitter, but I have to say both of these guys have a great deal of momentum on their sides because both men know and understand fully the opportunity at stake.
You're going to do the top rope punches to your friend? Closed fists? This is highly illegal. I would never use a closed fist on any of y'all. If we had to face each other in the King of the Ring, I'd definitely try to win, but I wouldn't break the rules like that.
And Jey Uso realizing you can see the fear in his eyes. They are dead in the center of the ring. An agonizing position for Jey Uso to be trapped in, shoulders down. Is Jey gonna tap out to Cody Rhodes? Is Cody gonna?
All right, we are about to be back from commercial break in 5, 4. I think of Wayne's World. In 5, 4.
Terrible situation.
Don't move your mouth.
Cody Rhodes has the figure 4 locked in. Think about all the damage being done as we speak to the leg of Jey Uso. Jey who relies heavily on his super kicks, on the Uso splash from the top turnbuckle. You take away Jey's leg.
Oh, you got a Real American Beer promo? Oh, unlucky you. Or commercial. Nice. Samoan drop. I feel like this is a match where we could get a straight winner. We could see some interference, but I don't even know if we'd get that. It might just be a match where Cody wins. And then Cody's going to have to go in there and face Randy Orton, which I think is going to be, you know, kind of a spoiler win. I mean, I know that Randy Orton technically saved face at Backlash, but I don't think anybody's expecting Orton and Cena to run it back. Oof. So Orton winning the King of the Ring just seems unlikely. Oh. Oh, I thought Jay caught him. Kimura lock. Wow, Brock Lesnar mentioned. Yeah. There, just want to shut the window a little bit. Stand up. Well, Cody is standing up. It's a wacky sleeper, man. I feel like Cody moved Jay's arm off his neck. Dumps him out. There's one way to get out of that move. Yes, Victor, Dominic AJ got canceled. Not really sure why. I think there's some speculation on why that might be. We'll probably find out here later tonight.
Nothing personal, it's just business.
It's just business.
The ring crown is worth that much to every superstar who seeks it. Jay tried to use some splash earlier, blocked by Rhodes. Rhodes beats him to the punch this time. Indeed it is, as the slugfest continues on the top rope. Hands up between the eyes of the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes down. Jay still perched on the ropes, but look at
Oh, wow. Superplex.
great athleticism by Rhodes.
He hit it. He hit it. Ouch.
How much did it take out of Cody? Cody Rhodes
Running superplex, too.
toward the bottom rope. Who's going to face Orton in the finals of the King of the Ring? Watch this impact.
Oh, did I miss that? Did they book the street fight, Zayn, at Night of Champions for Ripley and Rodriguez? I was thinking that was a next week match, but
We're in the bottom of the ninth now.
I mean, Dom probably has that family pull too, you know, like
Amount of punishment here. That superplex took out so much for both Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
if Dom says I don't want to go, they're not going to make him, you know.
Winner goes to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. We're entering the deep waters of this matchup, and both of these superstars are master swimmers. Neither is stranger.
And I guess storyline wise, they're using Liv's injury as the reason why Dom can't go. He's too mentally anguished or distraught or whatever.
Back to his feet. Jey Uso still trying to
Tito is now back sleeping soundly in the very place I pried him away from and then threw him in that direction. I don't know why he loves me when I do shitty things like that to him. Sorry, buddy. He's doing the little thing where he covers his face, so he was very tired, and I woke him up. That was mean. Sorry, bud. All right, still a minute 20 left in this commercial break.
into the ring post. Now it's Jey Uso's chance, his opportunity.
Oh, I didn't see it down there in the bottom. I wasn't paying attention.
Been thwarted the first two times he's done this. Now Jey pulls back. Lateral press. For the win over Rhodes, who kicks it.
Cody kicks out.
The exhaustion setting in for both of these men. Nearly 14,000 on hand tonight. Final Monday Night Raw before Night of Champions. Winner of King of the Ring gets a World Championship opportunity at SummerSlam.
It's so weird, like how Brett, like the winner of the King of the Ring, sometimes he got a shot at SummerSlam, sometimes it didn't. You know, Brett didn't in 93, but Owen did in 94. Mabel did in 95. Austin did not in 96. Triple H did not in 97. Shamrock did not in 98. Nobody did after that, I guess, except until you got to Brock again in 2002. So I guess it only happens sometimes, like half the time. All right, we are back from commercial break.
Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, semifinals, King of the Ring tournament. Winner goes to Night of Champions Saturday to face Randy Orton in the finals. This has been as evenly matched as you can get. Cody had the high ground for just a moment, but Jey made it back to a vertical base. Cody now.
I was like, they were champions together for like a day, right? When did Jay beat Gunther? Night 1 or night 2?
Cody blocks. And Rhodes knocks down Jey Uso, beat him to the punch. Cody now up and
No, Billy didn't in 99. Billy faced The Rock in 99, but Rock wasn't champ. I don't think it happened again until, well, no, I guess it happened in 2000. King of the Ring, Kurt Angle. He got the shot at SummerSlam. It was a triple threat, but he got one. So, yeah, it happened in 94, 95, 2000, and 2002.
Cody's finishing move. Cody able to counter off the second rope. Cody
Oh, Cody Cutter, well hit, too.
to advance to the finals. Jey kicks out.
Yeah, so they were briefly world champions together, Cody and Jay, until Cody fucked up and lost his title.
Delivers the Cody cutter face first center of the ring, but somehow Jay musters the will.
I'll never forgive WWE for just having Travis Scott walk out there to that song. Just utterly stupid.
Long-time rivals, now the best of friends, going at it to advance to the tournament finals. Cody looking for the disaster kick, and Jey Uso.
Oh, spear to Cody off the failed disaster kick. And Rhodes kicks out.
And Jey Uso realized that was his chance. Cody was looking for the disaster kick. Jey step ahead. Thunderous spear takes down the American Nightmare, but Cody Rhodes fights on. And the 13,433 here tonight at the Nationwide Arena in Ohio's capital city of Columbus. Enjoying our
Columbus.
tonight. Rhodes and Uso putting it all on the line for an opportunity to battle Randy Orton at Night of Champions on Saturday.
Yeah, Victor, I don't either. I wasn't happy about Raw being on at 3 p.m. for me on the West Coast here, so it's like middle of my day.
Taking so much out of one another. Jey now went for another spear. Ran into a kick by Rhodes. Cody gonna go up top. Top rope.
Top rope Cody cutter, and it looked really good. Now Jay did barely kick out of that.
The super cutter from the top rope. How the
I'm wondering if we're going to get like a handshake after the match if Cody, as we expect, will win.
psych himself up. Understanding he just connected with the heavy lumber. Jey Uso stayed in this battle. And somehow Jay's still alive. Cody survived a spear. Jey survived the super cutter.
Cody riling up the crowd.
Now Cody firing up and measuring his man. Cody just said, I'm sorry, Jay. This ends now. Wait for Crossroads.
Nope. Nope. Crossroads to Cody by Jay. No way. Like Cody ain't going down like that.
You, me, and 14,000 plus call. Everybody in this arena was on their feet. But nobody's as shocked as that man, Jey Uso. And Jay's got to be saying, what the hell do I have to do? Count at the Crossroads. Into a Crossroads that was on.
If Cody beats Jay here, is Rikishi going to act like a dickwad on his podcast?
Cody kicks out.
Oh, good. Yeah, Gunther was too good for the crown. He's not putting that stupid shit on. Hopefully Cody won't either.
Jay kick to the face of Cody. Cody's down.
Damn. Just took him down. Now yelling at him to get up.
Cody to get up, get up.
Oh.
Another kick. This is just insurance. Jey Uso just wants to make this.
Spear. Damn. Is that it? No way. Is he going to go for the splash? You should pin him right here. You just hit him with everything. He's going to try to splash him, I guess. He's so far away. You're in the wrong corner. No. How did Cody do this? Was it a cutter from... Oh, God, that was rough landing. Giant running cutter from the top.
As the third massive cutter sustained by Jey Uso. Hope Randy Orton was looking. And now Cody Rhodes. Crossroads.
But, oh, he buried him, too, with the crossroads. Landed right on his head. And Cody beats Jey Uso. Pretty good match. I feel like Jay made a mistake trying to go for the splash. I'm like, he had him. He hit him with like 3 super kicks and splash and speared him. You would just leapt on him right there and hooked a leg. He would have had him.
What a match. Certainly not easy. Cody Rhodes or Jey Uso. They got this.
Wow, what a kick. Oh, God, he nailed him with that one. Jesus Christ. That was a live round right there. That's why I thought he had him. Going for the splash was stupid. Paid the price.
Paid for it in spectacular fashion. A cutter by Rhodes
Oh,
to the crossroads. Sends Cody to the finals of King of the Ring. Saturday.
jeez. Ouch.
Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in the King of the Ring tournament finals. Former mentor versus former protege.
Yeah, he no-sold all that stuff. That was kind of crazy the way he jumped up like that so fast, but whatevs. I like the match. I'm glad it was a clean win, no bullshit. And Jay and Cody should make up here. Have a little handshake.
Very game. Jey Uso tonight.
Shake his hand. Of course, they're still friends. Unless Jay turns heel right here. I doubt it.
Cody Rhodes is the man going to the finals of the King of the Ring. Rhodes, Orton, someone will define their legacy. Saturday at night.
All right, there you go. All right, that's a wrap for Raw tonight, guys. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought some of those matches were decent. Jay and Cody was decent. Jade Cargill and Roxanne, wonky finish aside, was pretty decent. We got exactly what we expected out of Becky Lynch versus Bayley for the Intercontinental title. Lyra, of course, gets involved, fucks up the whole deal. That's going to lead to your triple threat. We had some more matches announced tonight. On Raw, we had some match cancellations. We had, We had Dominic and AJ has been pulled from Night of Champions, and we didn't really get that much of a reason why other than the storyline reason of Dominic, maybe being distraught over the Liv injury. So he's weaseled his way out of the Saudi Arabia match, but it may be a case behind the scenes where he said he doesn't want to go. We don't really know. We've also added Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn to Night of Champions, along with Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. Other than that, what was the other match that we saw on the show tonight besides those big ones, those big three? I don't recall. Brawl between Ripley and Raquel. Pretty good show tonight overall. But a lot of people have been thinking about Night of Champions and what's going to happen there. As of right now, the show is still scheduled to take place in Riyadh this coming Saturday, and they even have SmackDown there this coming Friday. So looks like that show, unless anything really changes with the whole situation over there, is ongoing. So things are changing every moment. But the only way WWE is going to not go to Saudi Arabia is if the government tells them not to. There's not going to be another situation where TKO or WWE is going to make the decision on their own for the safety or mental health of the wrestlers to stay back just to be safe than sorry. They're not going to make a decision like that. They're not going to jeopardize a single dime of their profits. It's going to have to be a decision by the government, and it's not looking, as we sit right now, that that's going to be the case. But if we get any news or any breaking news on that situation, I'll come up here this week and talk about it. Also, I think I'm going to plan to be here for us on Thursday to do predictions for King and Queen of the Ring and Night of Champions. So keep a lookout for Thursday. I'll probably drop those, although there's a chance we'll do it live. I'm not sure yet. And then on Saturday, we will be here, provided the show is in Saudi Arabia, we will be here around the same time that we do the podcast to review Night of Champions. So keep a lookout for that. We're not going to do a watch along because it airs pretty early here, so we'll just do a review instead. If for any reason they move it here to the States, it's going to be more local time, and I'm going to miss it because I didn't bother taking the night off work. So just keep that in mind for the week coming up, but we'll be here to talk about Night of Champions on Saturday. We'll be here for a classic watch along on Sunday, and I'm going to hit you guys with predictions on Thursday. So we have all that going on. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching Raw with us tonight. And I will be catching y'all real soon. Stay safe. And thanks for being here. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way, on the way out the door. I'd appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Peace.